My mother never talked much about the day she sang for kings, or the time she met the Kennedys, or the love affair she witnessed that history tried to forget. She talked about the war and walking home in the dark. She was 4'8", born in a Yorkshire village where your name, your family, and your silence mattered. She lived through the Blitz, walked 5 miles across open fields while bombs fell, learned early that fear doesn't disappear, you just walk away. Years later, she stood inside one of the greatest houses in England. She looked after children. She sang in the church choir. She watched history move past her quietly. She never wrote it down. She never traded on it. And when the records were burned, memory was all that remained. Before I tell you who my mother was, I need to tell you where she came from. Because without that, nothing else makes sense. This is not a story about celebrity. It's a story about how ordinary people sometimes stand very close to history, and why the quiet ones are often the most reliable witnesses. Britain in the early 20th century was not a place you moved through. It was a place you were placed. Where you were born, who your parents were, and who owned the land around you. Those things shaped your life long before you had any say in it. My mother was born in 1926 in a small Yorkshire village called Wentworth. And Wentworth was not just a village, it was an estate village. At the centre of Wentworth stood Wentworth Woodhouse, one of the largest private houses in Europe. The Fitzwilliam family owned the house, the land, and most of the homes in the village. If you lived in Wentworth, your life unfolded in the shadow of that building, whether you ever stepped inside or not. This wasn't feudalism, but it wasn't equality either. It was a system built on hierarchy and on trust. Class in Britain then was rigid, but it wasn't always cruel. What mattered, especially in villages like Wentworth, was reputation. Families were known. My mother's maiden name, Sykes, is not incidental. The Sykes family had lived in Wentworth for centuries, records tracing the name back to at least the 1400s. In estate villages, longevity mattered. It meant your family was understood. It meant trust was inherited, not assumed. My mother's family were miners and workers. They had no power, but they had something just as valuable in that world: trust. My mother Brenda was tiny, 4'8". She was not raised to expect more than the life in front of her. And then the war arrived and removed even that certainty. For viewers outside Britain, it's important to understand this. The Second World War didn't just bring danger, it dismantled normal life. Schools were closed. Lessons were stopped mid-sentence. Childhoods ended early. Sheffield, the steel city, just a few miles away, was heavily bombed during the Blitz. Wentworth felt it every night, through sirens and fires in the sky, and the knowledge that light itself could kill you. During the war, Wentworth Woodhouse did not recruit staff in the modern sense. People were chosen. A nanny was not simply someone who looked after children. She was someone allowed into private rooms, someone trusted with routine, intimacy, and silence. My mother was recommended through the village network surrounding the house, church, family reputation, and long memory. She became a nanny to 2 children. They were not, as far as I know, the Earl's own children, but they were close enough to the inner household that my mother's position was not peripheral. My mother did not pass briefly through Wentworth Woodhouse. She settled there. She learned its rhythms, which corridors were public which doors were private when not to ask questions. She came to know the Earl personally, not socially, but through presence and responsibility. Enough that when she later left the house, the reference she carried came from the Earl's office itself. While my mother worked at the house, something else was unfolding quietly. Peter Fitzwilliam, heir to one of England's great fortunes, was in love with Kathleen Kennedy, JFK's sister. Their relationship crossed boundaries that mattered deeply at the time: class, religion, politics. It was known inside the house. It was not spoken of outside it. My mother was there during this period. In 1948, Peter Fitzwilliam and Kathleen Kennedy flew to France, intending to seek approval from the Pope for their marriage. They never returned. Both were killed in a plane crash in France. Kathleen Kennedy is buried not in America, but in England. In fact, in the churchyard at Edensor, on the Chatsworth estate. Edensor lies just 25 miles from Wentworth. The Kennedys were close friends of the Duke and Duchess of Devonshire, owners of Chatsworth House. This was a tightly connected world. Outside of Wentworth Woodhouse stood Wentworth Church, the moral centre of village life. My mother was head choir girl. She sang for the Kennedys. She sang for King George VI, for the Queen Mother, and for a very young Princess Margaret. She was introduced to them all, and then she just went home. Years later, long after the war, my uncle Alwyn, my mum's brother, was given a task. He had worked on the Wentworth estate for over 50 years. He was told to burn a hut. Inside it, he was told, was the remaining private history of the Fitzwilliam family. He was instructed to burn everything, and then burn the barn itself. He did exactly as he was told, without curiosity, without hesitation. In doing so, he erased the final physical record of one of Britain's great aristocratic dynasties. What survives now survives only in memory. After the great houses dimmed their lights, my mother moved on. She became an accounts bookkeeper, a wife, and a mother. And she carried something still with her, folded, not framed. A reference. It was typed, it was signed, and given freely from Earl Fitzwilliam himself. She kept it in her drawer beside her bed for decades. I found it there after she died. She was 95. My mother shaped me, not by instruction, but by example. And then she met Val, two women from opposite sides of the world, and she recognized something very familiar. She once said to me quietly, "You hang on to her, Gary."
There's a girl on Blackpool Beach. Our love is out of reach. She's waiting there for me. She's looking out to sea. We met before the war. Oh, the horrors that we saw. more time it passes by. There's a girl who once was mine, lost in space and time. The girl I loved the most, but now she's just a ghost.